Welcome to a moment that many of us encounter yet seldom handle adeptly. You're in a meeting at work, and after you've poured countless hours into a project, your boss begins to point out flaws. You're in the spotlight, and it feels like your hard work is unraveling. As your confidence begins to waver, you can't help but wonder how to take criticism constructively. Can handling criticism become an opportunity for growth instead of a pitfall? And is it truly possible to develop a success mindset that thrives on feedback rather than fears it? Today, we'll embark on an insightful journey into the world of constructive criticism to unveil how to handle these situations with the grace of a seasoned philosopher. We'll explore the fascinating intersection between ancient wisdom and contemporary self-development techniques that empower you not just to survive criticism, but to actually use it as a launchpad for personal growth. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped not only to stand firm in the face of criticism, but to transform it into a tool for unstoppable self-improvement. As the story unfolds, you'll learn to traverse the delicate dance of maintaining a positive attitude and a resilient heart when faced with external opinions. Get ready, because what comes next will lay the foundation for a life where criticism is our ally, not our foe. Before we delve into how you can transform criticism into a source of growth and resilience, let me introduce myself. I am Marc, your guide on this journey into Stoic philosophy and how it applies to our fast-paced, often bewildering modern world. As a Stoic philosopher from ancient times now navigating the complexities of 2025, I have encountered the myriad challenges criticism presents in both personal and professional spheres. Like you, I have faced moments where external opinions threaten to sway me from my path and still find ways to remain steadfast and composed. In our interconnected digital era, feedback is incessant. Everywhere you look, there's a comment, a tweet, or a review ready to dissect our every move. This can be daunting, especially when we tie our self-worth to these external opinions. The ancient Stoics encountered their own forms of criticism, though not through social media or emails, but through direct discourse, influence, and legacy. The challenge always remained: how do you not let it shake your core? How do you avoid the sway of what others think and keep your confidence intact, your goals crystal clear? First, let's acknowledge the sting we feel. Often, criticism pinpoints our insecurities, areas where we already harbor doubts, and when someone vocalizes these, it can deepen our uncertainties. This vulnerability is a universal experience. It's not unique to you, nor has it spared the greatest minds. Yet it's crucial to remember the control we possess over our reactions. The Stoics professed that while we cannot govern others' opinions, we hold the power over our responses. The essence of ego management lies in understanding this control. It starts with mindfulness, a practice not as foreign or irrelevant as it might seem. In fact, today's Stoicism in action often aligns with concepts we already embrace, such as mindfulness and personal growth, to keep an even keel amid the storm of voices. Criticism, when allowed to, can corrode self-esteem and shake our belief in our abilities. However, if perceived through the lens of Stoicism, it transforms into a mirror reflecting areas ripe for self-improvement and personal growth. This reflection enables us to build resilience, a core facet of the success mindset cultivated by Stoics. They flourished in environments rigorous with critique, harnessing these challenges as stepping stones. You too can take this path. A powerful strategy is shifting perspective. View criticism not as an assault, but as an opportunity to enhance, refine, and better yourself. Consider this: every critique holds a lesson, a nugget of insight amid the din. When discerning which feedback constitutes constructive criticism and which is mere noise, a Stoic would advise, focus on the intention, Are the comments aimed to uplift, guide, or educate? If so, it warrants attention. Conversely, remarks stemming from jealousy or malice can often be dismissed. This discernment forms part of a positive mindset, which cherishes growth over ego defense. Now, in handling criticism at work, an additional layer often complicates things. Here, professional stakes intertwine with personal pride. It's vital to recognize that workplace criticism can propel professional development if approached with an open mind and willingness to adapt. By viewing this as a practical example of Stoic resilience, you allow yourself the space to learn and grow. This doesn't mean succumbing to every opinion, but rather standing firm, choosing which lessons enrich you and which to gracefully let go. As you navigate these choppy waters, remember, embracing criticism doesn't imply weakness or a fragile sense of self. Instead, it signals strength, a robust confidence unshaken by the sway of fleeting opinions. With Stoicism, the powerful grace of accepting criticism becomes quintessential to mastery. Are you ready to apply this wisdom practically? Stay with me as we transition from exploring the Stoic philosophy behind handling criticism to implementing modern Stoic practices in your daily life with concrete, actionable strategies that anyone can adopt. The insights you're about to gain can radically transform how you handle criticism moving forward. Get ready to become unshakable. Now, let's dive into the solutions and the timeless practices of Stoicism that can help us handle criticism with elegance and confidence. One of the most profound insights comes from the revered Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet powerful perspective can transform how you perceive external opinions. Imagine redefining criticism not as a personal attack, but as a chance for self-improvement and personal growth. Here's why a Stoic mindset can be your powerful ally. Stoicism encourages you to distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. Criticism, in its raw form, is often something you cannot control. It comes from outside, shaped by others' perceptions, insecurities, and biases. But your reaction to it, that is entirely within your realm of influence. When you internalize this, you step away from the emotional turmoil that criticism often brings. Think of resilience as your shield, forged in the fires of logic and understanding. By focusing on your own values and beliefs, you cultivate an unshakable sense of self that no external opinion can topple. This isn't about becoming unfeeling. It's about managing your ego and deriving satisfaction from within. As we explore these practices further, let's consider how mindfulness integrates beautifully into this process. Being mindful cultivates an awareness of the present moment without judgment. When faced with criticism, instead of succumbing to defensiveness or anger, pause and breathe. Allow the moment to unfold before you respond. This pause not only gives you time to reflect, but also enables you to respond with a level-headedness that aligns with Stoic values. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to detach from knee-jerk reactions, creating space for a positive mindset to flourish. Imagine feeling a sense of liberation where criticism no longer rattles your self-esteem, but instead fuels your desire for self-improvement. This brings us to the concept of constructive feedback. In every piece of criticism, there's potential wisdom lurking amidst the noise. Approach such feedback with a sense of curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Even if it wasn't delivered kindly, is there a grain of truth I can use for my growth? This attitude transforms every encounter into an opportunity for adaptation and resilience. You become like a river that finds its way around obstacles, steadfast in its course. Let's now delve into an example from the workplace, a common ground where many of us face regular critiques. You receive an email summarizing critical feedback on a recent project. Your heart races. and there's an instinctive urge to defend yourself or point fingers. But stop. Remember the teachings of Stoic philosophy. Reflect on what Epictetus would advise. Focus on your reaction. Instead of rushing to respond, take those valuable moments to comprehend the feedback constructively. Recognize the valid points without personalizing the negative tones. Then, with a cool mind, find a way to integrate this feedback into your future projects, turning what once seemed a setback into a stepping stone for success. Finally, it's important to address ego management. Often, criticism stings because it clashes with our self-image or perceived competence. The Stoics taught detachment from the ego, suggesting we should prioritize truth and growth over being right or praised. Reflect upon Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, who advised, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." By adopting such an approach, you build an unwavering core rooted in personal growth rather than external validation. As we wrap up this segment, remember that adopting a Stoic mindset isn't about indifference. It's about strength, clarity, and resilience. It empowers you to stand firm in a world brimming with external opinions, using Stoic philosophy as your compass through the tides of criticism. Get ready to explore how you can weave these principles into everyday practice in the upcoming examples I will share, helping you embrace life's challenges with an unshakable sense of self. Let's navigate together towards the practical application of these teachings, where the theory truly becomes life-changing action. Now that we've delved into Stoic principles and how they relate to handling criticism, it's time to make these concepts actionable in your daily life. Imagine you're in a meeting at work. You're presenting your ideas, and suddenly, a colleague points out a flaw in your plan. It's easy to let the sting of criticism rattle your confidence, but let's apply what we've learned. First, greet the criticism with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Ask yourself how to take criticism as a chance to refine your approach. In this situation, embrace the feedback as constructive rather than destructive. Ask your colleague for specifics and see it as an opportunity to enhance your work. This mindset doesn't only smooth out office interactions, but fuels your growth, turning potential negatives into positives. In our next scenario, picture yourself receiving unsolicited advice from a family member who questions your life choices. It's a moment to test your Stoic muscles. Envision this as a second exercise in managing not just criticism, but your response to it. Pause and reflect on the source and intention of the critique. Often, those closest to us criticize because they care or from their own experience and fears. Consider dealing with criticism at work as applicable to personal life as it is in professional settings. Use empathy to acknowledge their concern, then calmly explain your perspective. This not only preserves relationships, but strengthens them, showcasing your resilience and thoughtful nature. Sometimes, criticism comes from inner dialogue, our harshest critic often being ourselves. You might find yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I always fail." In these moments, it's about actively transforming self-criticism into self-compassion. When such thoughts arise, challenge them. Ask yourself if you're being fair to your own efforts and acknowledge what you've achieved so far. Use mindfulness to observe these thoughts and remind yourself that these are temporary feelings, not truths. How do you manage this inner voice to align with a positive mindset? Remember Marcus Aurelius's teaching? If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let this guide your self-talk towards honesty and kindness. As we wrap up, consider how you can deal with criticism positively, in a way that not only shields, but propels you. Next time you're faced with a critique, whether external or internal, remember the Stoic strategies we've discussed today. Embrace the feedback with gratitude, reflect without ego, and respond with calm. Transform this aspect of your life into a practice of resilience and growth. In closing, I'd love for you to share your experiences with handling criticism in the comments below. How has Stoicism helped you transform those moments into opportunities for self-improvement? Your insights could inspire others in our community, fostering a space of learning and support. If you found value in this discussion, consider subscribing for more on how ancient wisdom can illuminate our modern lives. Don't miss our next video, where we'll explore how to cultivate a Stoic mindset in the face of adversity. Thank you for joining me on this journey towards a Stoic self-development path. I look forward to seeing you next time.